Welcome to day 3 of the 30-day garden prep challenge. Today I'm going to tackle the first interior beds of my main garden. I have 2 rows that I'm looking at, my peppers and then one of my tomato rows. And I really just chose these rows because it seemed like a fairly simple one to do. They both have landscape fabric, so they're pretty much weed free, and I want to get some good progress made. So starting with the row of peppers, which are just getting pulled out and thrown right to the pigs. They are pretty much done by now. They've been frosted on a few times, and I don't have any reason to save them for compost. So we're going to turn them into a little bit of bacon and ham while we've got the pigs. Might as well utilize them. If you haven't downloaded the free checklist that I am using for my garden prep challenge, you can get the link in the description of the video. But in that checklist, I talk about how my goal is to cover the soil of every single bed that I am working on, whether it be with fabric or a tarp or mulching or a cover crop. I want to leave no soil bare going into the wintertime. And even though this bed has landscape fabric on it currently, I decided to pull the landscape fabric off, and I'm going to use this old hay and cover it instead. These are bales that broke open when we were unloading hay earlier in the summer, so we couldn't really stack them neatly in the barn, and honestly just kind of left them here out of laziness. But it worked out in my favor because now they've been rained on, any seeds they've had have sprouted, and I can use them as mulch. If I can get them to the garden, that is. I did decide that this task was a little bit too musty to have the baby on my back, so passed him off to a big brother, and now I just need to remove the irrigation, pull off this landscape fabric, and I will fold it up and put it in the barn for next season. If I have landscape fabric that is fairly short, meaning like under 20 feet, I prefer to fold it up. If I have it longer, then I will roll it, but folding it just seems a lot easier for me. If I want to check what the spacing is on the holes, I can peek at it a lot quicker in my experience. Anyways, back to why I decided to put mulch on this bed versus a cover crop or just leaving the landscape fabric on. I know that this bed last year had a cover crop of rye on it. And because it had that rye cover crop, I let that continue to grow this spring. And then I finally killed it when I wanted to put in my warm weather crop of peppers. If I had a lot of weeds in this bed, I probably would put fabric or a tarp on, because that is going to kill the weeds the most, like permanently. Mulch will kill a lot of them, but tarping or landscape fabric will completely kill them off. This is a pretty weed-free bed. It's had the benefit of cover crops last winter. I'm probably going to want to use this bed first thing in the spring to plant some cold weather crops. So I'm just going to mulch it to keep the weeds suppressed, but add some more organic matter in to the soil by having the hay that can continue to break down and kind of feed all of those microbes that are underneath. Now, if you don't have any old hay that you left to get rained on in your barnyard, you can use anything to mulch your beds. You can use bedding from your chicken coop. You can use grass clippings. It's fall. You can use leaves. If you have a bunch of leaves that you are piling up somewhere, put it on your garden. I actually would kill to have some leaves because they create such beautiful soil when they break down. We just don't have enough really to justify raking in our yard, and it doesn't really make sense to go somewhere and get leaves to use as mulch. Though I am tempted to sometime and might need to do it now just because I think it would be fun to have variety and to add different things to my soil other than just constantly using hay and bedding, which is what I use as mulch for the most part. Although I do use a lot of grass clippings too. Grass clippings are my favorite. It's just kind of not something that's available at this time of year. Now, unfortunately, the only thing I got done was that row of peppers today. Here's a little before and after. I'll have to wait another day to get those tomatoes done, but the whole point of this entire challenge is just to do a little bit of progress each day, and that's what I did. Now, tomorrow it is supposed to be very, very rainy, which I'm actually excited about because I've been purposefully trying to force myself to wait to doing things on the new greenhouse until it's rainy, because obviously when it's rainy, I don't want to be working in the garden, but I can work in here. So just a little sneak teaser for you guys. Tomorrow's video will be what I am doing to prep the greenhouse. And as you can see, it is a completely new growing space. It's literally grass. It was our backyard. And there's a couple different ways that you can prepare a brand new garden plot, whether you're expanding from an existing one or just setting it up for the first time. So I will share with you guys in tomorrow's video what my plan is to prepare this new space so that I can grow in it next spring, hopefully if it's warm enough. And that might be an option, something that you consider doing this fall. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. If you have been following along in this challenge and making progress, I would love to hear what kind of progress you are making, any tips that you have learned, and yeah, just leave a comment below. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.